Hello, Sharon here. It's been a while since I've made a video, but I wanted to get on and just talk a little bit about bullying. I was just doing some thinking, and what has been going on lately here with kids bullying, taunting, and harassing each other, even so far as the online bullying. Creating videos and then posting them on the World Wide Web to humiliate people. It's just so ridiculous. I grew up as a kid in the 90s, and I was bullied in elementary school as well as middle school. In high school, I was picked on heavily for maybe the first year, but during that first year, I started to stand up for myself and started to assert myself and kind of nip that in the bud. Because it's like when you're growing up as like a kid and you're much younger, it's really easy to be influenced by the way that people talk about you and the rumors they spread or things they say and how they treat you. But when you get older, like around high school age, you somewhat start to say, you know what, I am who I am. I'm my own person, and I really could give a fill in the blank what anyone else thinks. I wasn't like to that point fully, but I was much more just happy with who I was and accepted myself for who I was. And I was like, whatever. Um, but I have to say, back in the day, I was pushed, I was hit, I got into fights, all types of insults were hurled at me, items, paper, things, whatever were thrown at me. I was, harassed by this ginormous eighth grade girl. I remember when I was in, it was in sixth grade. I was in sixth grade. She was literally like three times my size. She was bigger than my mama, actually. She looked like a grown woman. Seriously. And she used to harass me on the bus, and we talked to the assistant principal. He really didn't do anything. I don't even know if they suspended her or whatever. She would push me, hit me, throw stuff at me, just very, very humiliating things, and it really does a lot to your psyche when you are bullied, you know, which I'll also talk about, at the next part of this video. But these days, kids are recording these things, posting them on the World Wide Web for everyone to see, and it is so degrading and, oh my God, so humiliating. I don't even know what I would do if this was done to me, and a lot of kids these days, they are actually killing themselves and hurting themselves because of this, because it is just such a negative thing, And I see a lot of times where people are saying, "Oh, I want to thank my haters, and I want to thank those people, who picked on me, and all those people that abused me and bullied me growing up because they made me the person I am today." And it's wonderful they could put a positive spin on it, but as far as I'm concerned, when you are bullied, it's a very negative thing, and it puts you in a really negative, horrible, bad mental space and emotional space. And those things can carry on into your adulthood, and it manifests itself in a lot of different ways. And it's really unthinkable to know in which way it is going to manifest itself when you get older. So, even though technically, I guess getting bullied or whatever kind of made me kind of not mess with people and have respect for all people and stuff like that. At the same time, it really hindered me on a lot of different things and in a lot of different areas. But anyway, that's just my thoughts and my viewpoint on bullying. I just hope that this will get better because, kids out there deserve to be who they are, and at the same time, they can't help what they can and cannot afford. When I was a kid, I remember I used to wear these shoes. They were called British Knights. And, my mother didn't have money to buy me name brand shoes, and all this kind of stuff. So I wore my British Knights, I wore my LA Gears or whatever. And I was tormented for that, and I was picked on. And, it's really tragic because it did a lot for my self esteem. And when I say it did a lot for my self esteem, it was down. It really put it really, really down. And it really influenced even who I was as an adult, as an early adult, because it's like certain things you'll never forget. You don't forget how you were made to feel. You don't forget certain things that people say. You can even remember certain people and how they used to treat you. And I always said, it's a good thing that I don't live back in my hometown, because, I would definitely have some words if I saw some of these people face to face. So, like, I remember their first names and last names for some of them, Some of them I just remember their first names. Some of them I remember how they look. And I'm like, I'm glad that I'm not in my hometown because I would surely have a couple of words with them and let them know exactly what they did and how it was wrong. You know, one time I was in the 8th grade in middle school, and there was 8th grade. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I was in 7th grade because this is before we had moved. Because I went to 6th and 7th grade at one particular school, and then I went to a different school in 8th grade. So I was in 7th grade, and this dude was dating this chick that rode my bus or whatever. He was like a tall, one of the cool kids. He played ball, whatever. And he thought it was funny. He was walking with his girlfriend, and he thought it was funny to pinch my butt. So he reached up and he pinched my butt, and I didn't even report it or say anything because the principal there and the vice principal there, he never really stood up for me. We kept going and talking, about this chick that kept harassing me, and then there was this other chick that was harassing me too and bothering me and stuff. And he never did anything. He never helped me. So I didn't even say anything. But when he pinched my butt, I just felt super violated, and I just felt really bad about myself, and it really messed up with my mental psyche. Well, years later, this dude, this is when I had started working in a retail place. This dude, the same dude who did it, came up to my register with his mother, and I didn't even really call him out. I was like, I remember you from school. And his mom was like, oh, really? Something good? I was like, no, nothing good. And I said, I won't even say it because, it's so long ago. But I didn't remember his name or anything like that. But I remember his face. Like, I would never forget his face because it always made me very nervous and scared that he was going to violate me again, which might not sound like a really big thing. But when you're in the 7th grade and you're not really doing anything with boys, whatever, and somebody pinches your butt, it really feels like a violation. You know, even at my age right now, if I was, out somewhere doing something and a dude just like came up and pinched my butt, oh, it would be a violation and it would be, it would be some problems. So, it's just like you never forget. You never forget those who tormented you and who made you feel like crap and put you down. And while it is good and wonderful to look at the positives, I also remember exactly how I feel with a lot of this stuff, and it was not good. But at the end of the day, you get older. Hopefully, you can work through things, figure out who you are and accept yourself, love yourself, and just say whatever. Screw them. They can think whatever they want to think. Anyway, that's all I have to say about bullying. So, if there's anything you'd like to say, please leave it below in the comments. Ta ta!